Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Dyson Sphere program, where so far we've got started, been interrupted by the narrator a lot, and built a little bit of production, just doing some smelting right here. There's the sun setting on Icarus, probably for the best for him, you know, keep him out of trouble. Yeah, we've got some iron being mined, we've got it being brought over here, we're making iron ingots and magnets, and we're storing them as well. We've just put down a miner for copper, so let's see if we can get something to do with that running as well. My hope for today is that we can get some basic science going, all the little bits and bobs needed to make the matrices that you need in order to do research. In this case, they look like let's go find some of them. They look like the Tesseract from Marvel. The Space Stone may well be in there. It's honestly up for debate. It literally looks exactly like it. And then it turns out there are 6 different kinds of these, all different colors. I think there's something going on here. I got my suspicions about what's going on with that. Something we haven't even looked at yet is the upgrades. So we should probably start doing that. You know, some of them are super simple, like a bunch of ingots, and we can get plus 40 megajoules of max core energy. So you know, a bit more power capacity. Why not? And we can also unlock universe exploration with some of these matrices, electromagnetic matrices to be precise, which are made of magnetic coils and circuits. Let's NQ that, not just queuing, NQing. It's extra fancy. Do we have, that's the wrong button, I just pressed that. Do we have the ability to make some copper? Yes, we do. Let us just make 20 of those, and then there we are. We've got exactly enough of these, funnily enough. I think. Or maybe it's just full and we've got spare. We've got spare. We're fine. Let's get even more. They've built up now. Doesn't take long once they really get going. There we go. 200 of those. You know, 400 of those. We use these things up pretty fast. You know, they're like... iron ingots and copper ingots are the bread and butter of all factory games. As in, iron is the base and then you put some copper on top of it. And that's how you make everything. We got a couple bits of greenery knocking about here I'd like to clear out. Give us a bit more space to work in. Also some very little rocks you'll sometimes spot that are easy to miss. That can also be gathered for more stone bits. And there is some value in gathering this stuff because it can sometimes... oh, damn it, I moved! I've cancelled everything. Yeah, you sometimes get more rare stuff. There we go. More energy. Very nice. Yeah, you sometimes get extra fancy stuff. So, like, we found a couple of these things, organic crystals. They occasionally will drop from plants that we gather. So we've got a couple of those. And then we've also got some titanium ore. I believe you can also get silicon ore sometimes from rocks, so we haven't yet. We'll see if it shows up later. Speaking of random extra bits and bobs, let's put this in a storage. First, we need to make a storage. I mean, let's just make 10 of them. We're going to use them eventually. Might as well just have a stack ready to go for whatever particular purpose we might need it for. It'll take a second for those to be made, but then once they are, we'll be able to fulfill all of our storage needs. Speaking of, we don't actually need that much storage of this stuff. I'm going to lower this. Like, are we going to need more than 10 stacks? I'd much rather the power go to something else, because at some point it'll probably be needed. That said, right now our power is going great. Now there is actually some limitations in the form of how quickly this sorter can grab the iron, but it doesn't matter too much because this is meant to go onwards into other things, into other production. Alright, let's do something with this copper. This is actually a bad spot for this thing, so I'm just going to briefly break some of our power. Oh, actually, this is all still running, look at that. Perfectly positioned. In that case, I'll hold off on doing anything with that yet. But yes, I want to do a bit of future-proofing here, because later on we're going to be able to make steel, and like all steel in all factory games... Gonna make 10 of those. Oh, wrong button. Like all steel in all factory games, it's made of iron. But you just put iron back in a smelter and you get steel. We haven't unlocked it yet, but when we do, you know, we want to be able to make it. So I'm going to put some furnaces here to mark where the steel furnaces are going to be. We are running out of power, however. We need to go get ourselves some more coal. There's plenty there. So we'll be able to fully fuel ourselves, I imagine. And be good to go from there. Yep, look at that. Plenty. 4 stacks for ourselves, 2 spare. Sorted. And that's all we'll need from coal for a minute. But yeah, I want to put in some furnaces here to mark where steel production is going to be so I don't mess it up. And then we can just turn them on later when they're ready. Okay, let's do these one at a time because I'm sat around waiting for them to be ready. That'll get them done quicker. Because they need all the copper gubbins right now because we don't have those automated yet. But soon we will. One thing at a time. Okay, so this will make steel. We can grab it off of this iron belt. Plonk it onto a new belt here. Let's make a bit of the belt. And then we gotta do copper. There's actually we're running a little bit out of room here, but I think we can just about cram this in. We like stick this here. Oh, it's a bit ropey. It's a little bit ropey, but if we bring this out here... Oh, no, it's not going to let us. Curses. You know what? I really wanted to put this here because I don't want to expand too far south because there's a lot of good, like, manufacturing space here. So I'm going to move the miner instead. So... I'd like to still grab that one on the end if I can. But that's not going to happen. Oh, if we untether it from the grid, can we get 8 again? Oh, that's much better. Oh, but we need to be... Let's see. Oh. There it is. How many's that? That's 9. Very nice. So that gives us a production rate of 270 when there's enough power. It's 30 per deposit, so, you know, it's very, very useful to... get as many deposits in range as you can. Now I was actually thinking of having the copper come up on this side. I realize things are getting a little bit cramped here. Hang on. Get rid of you for a second. I don't think we need you anyway. Yeah, you're not even doing anything. I'm going to make use of the 3rd dimension here. We're going to raise this up. Or, there it is. Run it along here. Will it let me lower it like this, I wonder? Around a corner? Nah, it doesn't like me doing that. Okay, fair enough. Oh, now I've realized getting out of here with the copper might be a bit of a challenge. I didn't think this through. I did not plan sufficiently. I could have had it on the other side, but I was thinking about like it getting in the way of the steel later. The steel's going to want to go past it, and I was worried about that. And I think I just made myself more problems overall. But you know, let us lie in this bed we've made. Oh, we're out of belts again. Curses. We'll have to get those automated, maybe. It's easier now. All we need to make is gears. We've got everything else. Work on those for a while. How are we for sorters? Oh, no, we're short on those too. Wait. Also make me a bunch of those. And then carry on making all of those. Okay, sorter. Badoop, badoop. Badoop, badoop. And then badoop, badoop. And then we've run out. Oh, wait, no, but we just started making the new ones. Perfect timing. Now... that's the thing. You can't build from a belt that has a sorter over it, unfortunately. And I think that's because the sorter has to reconsider its exact position once, like, depending on whether the belt is an end or not. I think there's some slight weirdness there. I don't know if that's something that can be fixed. I would hope it could be, but I think it might be a problem with just generally how the mechanics work, unfortunately. Okay, and then a couple steps. Oh, we've got to go a few steps further, actually. We've got to get past this thing. Or do we? No, we don't, actually. If we stay at this height... and then head down... once we get to here, we'll drop. We can head over the top of this. Yeah, this will work quite nicely, actually. Yeah, you go there. And then we're going to have... a neat little system here where these things pop out. And then this one drops down next to it. Unnecessary perhaps, but I'm enjoying learning all the interesting arrangements you can do with this kind of belt system. Also, they do, like, the higher up you get and the longer the belts get, the more it looks kind of weird that they're just floating. But I don't know, maybe they'll put supports in later. That could be a later on thing. Right, now the sorter can go back in. In fact, I wonder, could we have managed a sorter in the middle? Ah, we could have. Not here, though. Wouldn't have allowed here, but yeah, either of these works. So we'll put it in the middle, because then it matches up with the other ones and looks nicer. Now we do need power. Okay. There we go. We got to make sure to put the recipe in. Copy, paste. And we have ourselves copper being made. I'm realizing I can't put it into a storage. Oh, no, I can still put it into a storage. It's just going to not be so great. We'll have a storage here. And I reckon it won't allow us to put the copper in. But what happens if we put another one on top? Because you can stack these. Does it let me connect to the middle? Oh, no. Yeah, it's wrong either way. Can we do it further back this way? Technically, we could plonk one like here. Yep, I'm deliberately making myself more trouble here. I know what I'm doing here. It's all my own fault. We can do this, I reckon. Oh no, it's too far. This should be just close enough, but maybe the difference in height means that it's not going to work. Okay, let's just Nah, we're okay. We had our fun. Let's make it more sensible. We're gonna delete all these. We do get back the belt and the contents of the belt, so it's not too bad if you change your mind and entirely erase a chunk of your work. I just deleted the wrong thing, though. That is a problem. Got to put that back in. Oh, I did it again. Gotta make sure you're clicking the right things. Okay. You to you. You to you. And we're good again. Right. This belt, we're gonna bring it over and down as much as we can. Bring it down by 1 notch for the moment. So it stops complaining. Needs to go to there. Down again. And we'll go past the box. What that allows us to do is put a storage right there. In and out. The belt does have to be built for you to connect the sorter to it. I wish that wasn't the case, but I get why it works that way. This needs power. It's just outside. Damn. Okay, well. And we'll put a limit on this as well. We don't need tons. Oh, and now we bring this in like this. So yeah, it's a neater way of going about it. Oh, nope, I've messed it up. Delete. Can now build the matrix lab. Yeah, I know. It wants me to do that so the narrator can start interrupting everything I do again. So we do have one queued up, and we can make these things ourselves if we like. It's 10. 10 is easy enough to throw together, so let's do that. It's going to take us 40 seconds to do, and then we can do some initial bits of research. Let us check the tree. So once we unlock the Mecha Core upgrade, we unlocked a whole bunch of other things too. These, however, need fancier gubbins. So like we need electric motors for this, we need steel for this. This one is just the matrices. This one requires graphite, more matrices. But the drone engine, we can actually do that right now. That's 150 coal and 60 magnetic coils. It's a lot of magnetic coils, but we can throw those together. Before we do that, though, we should throw together the things we're going to need to start making those automatically, so we can also start working on that. Apparently we're low on something. I think it's actually iron ingots. Here we go. He's going to talk.
You have
there he
unlocked
is.
the universe exploration. Now you can click the Details Display button in the lower right corner of the screen to open real-time distribution details of the ore veins.
Alright, so now we press this button and we can see all the veins that are in eyesight. And if we pop to the map, we can look at the whole thing. So now we can see all the places that we could have built a base better than the current place. Potentially. So, oh yeah, if we'd gone in the opposite direction at the start, we would have also found some iron, well, slightly further away. Over here, there's tons of iron, but nothing else except one bit of copper and some oil, which is getting a bit ahead of things. Oh wow, just a huge barren section around here. Yeah, a couple of big chunks of the planet that just have nothing. Actually, yeah, we picked a pretty good spot, all things told. Nowhere else, I think, has all 4 core resources in such close proximity. So, huh. Yeah, fair enough. Alright. Good to know. We'll turn that off because it's obnoxious. And yeah, oh, we should start mining stone. Because we have, you know, we're making a few things out of stone. We're probably running out of the stuff. It's good to have some in stock. We need to make a miner first. Let's make a... I mean, well, we'll make one for now, because that's one on everything. I mean, it's going to be a little bit before we need any more, so it won't clutter up our inventory, which does have limited space. We do get more later, but for now, there's not much. I'm also going to make a storage... I mean, I'm going to put a storage over here. Why not? And this is going to be our junk store. Stuff that we don't currently have any sort of use for. There we go. A little bit of cleaning up. Still got some ore in us. We don't really need that anymore. Also, I spy stuff... Oh, I'm in construction mode. I spy stuff to gather that could get in our way. All must be consumed and made into a Dyson sphere. Actually, we probably want to mine this stone first. It seems like it's more in the way, generally, of what we might want to do. Hey, you may notice that I'm gathering up some belts of all the things. And I am indeed working towards something of a main bus. The classic way of building things that most factory game players know. Now the question is where to build the main bus, and I think the answer is to go right down here and send it off this way. This puts us practically on the equator and gives us a long straight line before we hit stuff. Except there is some cold air. Otherwise good though. We could go here, but we hit water pretty quick. And if we go further, that gives us more space here to do other things that might want to lead into a main bus. That's my idea. Though I don't know if the main bus will survive. I get a feeling that as things go on, we're going to realize like stuff that we're missing from it, and we're going to want to tear it down and rebuild it. Because the thing with a lot of games like this is you've got to know how it ends to know how to begin efficiently, and in a way that that'll be most useful to you towards the end. So, you know, there'll probably be a few less successful runs before I start to get an idea of how to build my factory well from the start. That's just how it is. Of course, we'll be able to help out by doing our streams over on Twitch, where we're going to practice... well, not practice so much as we're just going to play the game further along, and so we'll get a look at where we're going, and then I can do it better this time around. And yeah, by the way, there's quite a lot of resources to these things. It showed us the whole deposit there. 500,000 stone in this, over 500,000 stone. Almost 1 million coal in that. So they're going to run for a while. Over 250,000 in copper. But still, we're going to use these things up, I'm quite sure, when the time comes. When we really start to get moving. Now, we did complete that tech, and that was why we could see the deposit. So what I would like to do is get this one going. Now, we were gathering stuff to make assemblers. There we go. We can make 10 of these now. That should get us going nicely. What other things do we need? More belts, most likely. Yep, more belts. Plenty more belts. More sorters, of course, to go with the belts. More power things. Maybe more wind turbines? Hold off on that one for the moment. We have a lab now, just the one, to get started. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that's all the stuff we need there. Now it's going to take a while. But we can also queue up some magnetic coils, that's the one. That said, by the time this is all done, maybe we'll have some... we won't have some of those going in 3 minutes, let's be honest. So, let's just... I believe that's 60. So, it'll eventually get that done itself. And yeah, we'll try and automate gears, circuits, magnetic coils, all that good stuff. Right, we have some belts, so let's bring them along. Let's go down to like there and then take stock of where we want to take it exactly. That's all the belts we have. That's fine, it's going to take the drones a minute to make them. We'll shortly be getting on to crafting more belts. And you can see how we're having to sit around and wait on the things to be done, and that's why we want to switch to automation. Of course, there's always a point where you're going to be limited in terms of speed by how much you can do. But it does give the drones time to get on with the belts, because the belts definitely take them longer than anything else to make, being one tiny structure per tile in a big old row. We've made all the assemblers now, so yep, there we go, we're on to belts. I'll wait till it's all crafted. You can also see we're picking up soil piles right now. They don't matter yet, but they will a bit later on. It's about terrain deformation, all that kind of thing. So as we're building these, we are slightly lowering the height of the ground, which means we're getting soil piles, which we can then use later in the game to expand, to increase land area, like either expand out into the water or raise hills if you want to do that, or fill in pits, that kind of thing. Yeah, I definitely want to upgrade the drones when I can, but we'll need to do a bit more science before we can do that. In fact, while these guys are doing this, because they'll carry on doing this, just stand in the middle. Let me check the tech tree. Is there anything we can do with just stuff we can craft still? I think there is. But I'm wrong. There is not. Let's see. Is there some further along? I feel like there's something at some point, but yeah, for now it's all the cubes. Cubes are where it's at. Upgrades do a lot more of that initially, using items to research. And then you get into the cubes eventually. There we go, it's all done. Very nice. Oh, I never put down the miner for stone. Let's do that. Gathering, miner. Let's put it there so that it's in power range and I don't have to worry about it. And I don't think I'm even going to connect. No, we'll put it into a storage. That's easy enough. I was going to not bother connecting it to anything yet, but then when you need some, you can only get 50 at a time. It's easier if I've got a box full of the stuff. Let's do it here next to the coal one. Sorter in, sorter out. Limit it to 10. And this does need power. Got a bunch of those made. We're making the magnetic coils now. There we go. That research is happening. And that one is, I believe, going to give us flight. So that's cool. Because through a combination of coal and magnets. Sure, why not? Oh, I'm in construction mode. There's very little difference between construction mode and the rest of the game mode. But there is a setting in the options to switch it so that when you go to construction mode, you go into a god mode view, rather than, so like what I'm in right now, rather than controlling the mech directly. which is a nice option to have. Okay, I've given him all the orders I can. I just want to make as much room as possible for the work that we're going to do here. That's cool seeing the gas or ice giant, I'm not sure which, over the horizon. We see the other planets. Oh yeah, there we go. Delta Bootis 2 is coming by quite close. Delta Bootis 1 quite a distance away. That one's very volcanic for not being that far from us in terms of orbits. That's a bit worrying. We can't see the sun. I'm guessing it's up. It'll show up at some point. And yeah, he'll carry on just doing that. So, we want to go down a little bit more, so that we... Actually, but that's going to be a problem. We maybe want to just, like, skirt this. And go about it that way. If I do here, is that what we want? That'll get past it. I'm sure this will be fine. This won't be a problem at all. I'm planning quite far ahead. I don't know if I'm going to have the same kind of setup by that point. Things may be entirely different. So I'm not yet sure, like, exactly where the game goes, at least beyond the near future. We need even more belts. Oh, we've run out of plates, or in this case ingots. There are no plates. The mech will move quicker later, mercifully. Right now, it's a little bit slow, but there are things that can be done to make it faster. Like that. So now, we can fly.
You have received the ability to fly. Double-click the space key to lift off, and then use the arrow keys to control mecha movement. The moving speed will increase by 150%, with more energy consumed under flight mode. Pressing the Alt key can return the mecha to the ground during the flight.
So yeah, nice 50% boost to your speed, helps to travel between slightly further distances. Very much appreciated. Now, there's a thing that we need to really make a proper main bus in this game that we haven't unlocked yet. So we can't actually do it properly. Really what we want to do is be able to branch off the necessary materials and then construct stuff in rows facing this way. But we can't. So, or at least not in a... Like, there's a better way of doing it later that we can't do yet. So for now, I'm just going to stick all the machines right next to this. It's going to be a bit of a mess, but it'll do what we need it to do. So, I've got to work out... I think first things first, we want to make gears. So, the way we'll go about this is put a couple of machines here. And... Oh, I didn't copy. Copy. Did I mess it up? I messed it up. I pasted, I think. Gears. Copy. Did I do it? Paste. There we go. Okay, making gears. Then we got to think about the ratio here. It's one plate to one gear. So this is going to be our output belt for the gears. We're going to need extra sorters bringing in the plates, because they are going to go much slower than the ones sending them back out. And then we need power. Conveniently, we can sneak it in that gap. Then build another one over there so we actually connect to the rest of the grid, and there we go. So you see, these things are quite slow in the delivery of the iron, but if there's two of them, that might make up for it. Let's see. Looks like it. Yep, the iron ingot supply is building up. Very good to see. Could be because of a low power, but then that might be also making these slower. I'm not sure whether they are slower or whether they simply don't activate if there's not enough power. Now we want to make some fancier stuff. So these two things, magnetic coils and circuit boards. Neither of these actually use gears. The gears are just, you know, for various other things. All the buildings need gears pretty much, especially the early ones. So yeah, this is ingots and ingots. This is ingots and magnets. we can't actually have one right here making any of these, because... Oh no, we could do this. This can be the one making the magnets. So let's put a second one down. Because the problem is the sorters would crash into each other. They get in each other's way. Like, if we wanted to grab these and these, we could use this slot to grab one, but then we couldn't use any of the other slots to grab anything else. So what we can use this for is making the magnets, because that uses this one here, and then we can have these in the same row. So make those. I don't know if you're going to be able to get the copper quick enough. Lack of material. I sent these the wrong way. These are going out instead of in. Oops. You got to click on the origin first. It's important. Opposite of how a Stargate works. Okay, is this getting them quick enough? It isn't. It is not getting the copper plates quick enough. We could bolster it by cheating and bringing them off from the side. But that's cheating, so no, not going to do that. What we're going to do is wait till we can get better grabber things, better sorters, because they will come along later on. Right, now we need a belt running along here. And then we can output onto said belt. Also, we need to copy this recipe and paste it over here to get that one running as well. And then on this side, it's going to limit our gear production, but I think 2 is probably fine. We're going to put production of the circuit boards. So, copy paste. And we need the 2 kinds of ingots. So, dupe, and I'm going to have 2 going in for the further away one, because I think it'll need it. I think the copper will be just quick enough, because it's only a distance of 2. We'll find out. We can put the power there. Very nice. How's it going? Yeah, the iron isn't quick enough still. It's not too far off though, and these have been made fairly fast anyway, so it'll all work out. You know what? I don't want these going forward. I want these going back. These belts. So delete all this. Oh, and it's not happy because there's some sorters without connections. We're gonna have belts running back the way we came, including here, and then this will go up and over and down, and sorters coming out once it's built. There we go, there we go, and then over here. Come on, drones, you can do it. I believe in you. And let's send these back off over in this kind of direction. And the same goes for this one. Get rid of that because we already know how to fly. Go away. These are the things needed in science. So now what we'll do is we'll build ourselves a lab. That should do. Then
Matrix Lab. You can use it to make super matrices, or research technologies that require them to unlock. The super matrices are the source code of the center brain for maintaining the home world. You can upload as many super matrices to the center brain as possible. You can be Benefit to unlock more actual world technologies.
I can be Benefit.
By operating the home world
Oh dear.
simultaneously.
Is this connected to the grid? Yes, it is. Okay. So, this will load these at exactly the same speed, because this is twice the distance than this is, but there's twice as many. What we want to do is tell this to produce the electromagnetic matrices. Then what we need to do is make a second lab, because there are 2 kinds of lab functionality. Gotta make another one. This is made using glass, which apparently we can make by smelting stone. Sure, why not? It's close enough. Like, I guess if you ground it down to sand first, is that how that... Honestly, I don't know enough. I should stop talking about how glass is made, because I will only start to demonstrate how little I understand it. We can build another lab right here. We want to connect sorters between them. Let's have a couple just to make sure it's fast enough, and because it looks nice and symmetrical. This can be set up to be a research lab, and now what happens is this one produces the matrices, and then this one consumes them to do science. And so let's queue up some science. I want to upgrade myself, honestly. That would be quite nice. Oh, but to do that, I need to do other upgrades, basically. So, let's go back to technologies. And I think we'll do some... Oh, God. Okay, yeah. We've got a power shortage right now, so it's a bit flickery. I don't know if that's enough flickering to set off people with epilepsy, but just to warn you, there's flashing images on screen, like, of a small kind, but of the perfect kind to... In terms of color, I think red and blue flickering is the thing that does it. Is the most common way that you can induce an epileptic fit. I think there's other way. I don't know the specifics, but I know that is exactly why kids without epilepsy got epileptic fits from that one episode of Pokemon, because it went between a fully blue frame and a fully red frame, and maybe also a fully yellow frame, over and over for a couple of seconds. Nothing else on screen. Bit gratuitous, even not considering that it gave people epileptic fits. But that's quite an aside that we don't need to bother too much about. We now have science. We are now performing research automatically. It still shows it in the manual research thing, but it's not us doing it anymore. The counter is ticking down because the research is being done by the labs. So there we go. That opens up a whole bunch of stuff to do science for. What we need to do now is sort out power, really. So I queued up the wrong research. What I needed to queue up was thermal power, which gives us the thermal power station, i.e. the coal-fired generator. I don't know. They've gone for the fancy name. You burn coal, you make power. Can we actually cancel this from the queue? Oh, we can. There we go. And then we'll queue it back up immediately after, because it allows us to make graphite, the thing that we can use to make coal more efficient in our generators. So it works out. But yeah, we'll prioritize this. It's quicker as well. It's only 30 research. Easy. But we shall enjoy the fruits of that work in the next episode. We've done pretty good here. We've got some basic automation going. We've got some kind of main bus. It's sort of not a proper one. It's sort of cheating, but it gets across the basic idea in a way. And it builds us the things we need. We're now doing research. We're now able to unlock a whole bunch of cool stuff. And start working towards traveling to the stars. You can't see them because it's day. There's no planets either. Where have they all gone? How about now? There we go. There's our giant of whatever kind it is. Can we... Oh, we can go to the space map. It is a gas giant. There we go. And then over there we've got a lava planet, or planet lava, apparently. And an arid desert, strangely closer to the sun than the lava planet. Curious indeed. We can also have a kind of look at them, and we can't see what resources they have yet, but we can see like their orbital information if you're interested in that. And also the amount of area they have. So apparently this has 100% construction area. It's just a flat desert all the way around, gets tons of wind power, tons of solar power. I should go live there. As long as it's got the resources, forget this planet. This one's way better. It's got everything we could need. Apart from plant life, I guess. And maybe it does still have it if it's a desert. There could be some plants. And this one is mostly construction area. There's some gaps though. Wind energy is not so great, but solar energy is good because of course it's closer to the sun. And over here, a lot of that stuff isn't relevant because it's a gas giant. We can't land on it. So it doesn't have a surface per se. Maybe it does. Presumably there's one in there, but we're never going to get there. We'll probably implode first. But there we go. We researched the thermal power station. But we shall build that in the next episode. Well, for today, here's our budding factory. Just in its earliest stages. And one day this shall be the heart, the beating heart of a solar collecting empire of Dyson sphere construction. I don't know if we can build multiple. I'm hoping we can just like Dyson sphere every planet in the cluster. I'm not sure if that's how it works or not, or whether you're just supposed to do one. I may get carried away. Let's find out. But with that, I shall say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.